thinking about the development of that side, a PSG fan or a football fan at large. So many players are being hyped up, raved about. And there's a huge level of excitement, a strong bench as well. And Arsenal dominated. Arsenal controlled them. They little broed them. They absolutely dominated from start to finish. There was a 10-minute period, maybe from the 65th minute to about the 75th minute, where they had a little flick of the boot from João Neves and they hit the crossbar and they were putting the pressure on. But someone who's watching it as a neutral, I just thought Arsenal again looked so comfortable, so at ease. It was so simplistic for them to absorb PSG. And I think Gunners would probably want a goal or two more. But again, you don't need to exhaust the energy. You don't need to keep running like you were, keep pressing like you were, keep playing as you were for the full 90 minutes when it was so comfortable. And I will say that it's been a long time since I remember watching Arsenal play against a top European side, a team that always features sometimes in the top two, but always in the top 5, top 6, top 8 in terms of chance of winning the Champions League each season. I can't remember, Arsenal fans will know more than me, the last time they looked so in control, so dominant, so at ease in a Champions League game against such a big side. And when you look at the way Arsenal play, LB said on Straight Facts earlier on today, they almost need a statement win. They've got to go out and be the aggressor. They've got to go out and be the dominant side, and they did that. They press so brilliantly well at times with both their wingers, Martinelli and Saka, up high. But they know the trigger in their press. So even if one of their front players gets passed around, the next person fills in, they fill in, and invariably they were winning the ball back. And it was causing all types of problems for PSG. When they also got the ball, they had great control in the middle. I thought that Declan Rice had an outstanding game in terms of not just defensively and intercepting the ball. He carried it well at times. He was first to win the balls and winning those second challenges. But then when he drifted, you had the likes of Calafiori, especially inversing on the inside. And PSG couldn't handle it. They couldn't cope. And PSG, by the way, had some very talented midfield players out there as well. And it was that kind of press and that inversing into the middle which led to the first goal. This time it was Trossard who kind of dropped out into a wide position and picked the ball up and then run in towards the middle areas. I thought he was going to use the overlap, but he cuts back inside. And it was a genuinely wonderful run from Kai Havertz, who now, by the way, has scored 6 goals in a row in home fixtures for Arsenal. The record for the Gunners is 7. Thierry Henry holds the record of 7 home games scored in on the bounce. Kai Havertz, the much maligned Kai Havertz that most Arsenal fans didn't want, the media laughed at, Chelsea fans goaded. He is a couple of goals at home away, a couple of games scoring at home away from breaking a Thierry Henry record. But his goal tonight was brilliant. It was a wonderful bit of play from Trossard, who sped the play up with a bursting run, sort of dummy like he was going to go on the outside, came inside, and it was a delightful cross. But the run and the timing from Kai Havertz, the PSG defenders thought it was offside. They were appealing for the offside. It was that good of a run. They had no idea where he was. And then it was brilliant. He twists his body. He just gets the back of his head onto the ball. Donnarumma, nowhere. 1-0 to Arsenal. It was well-deserved at that point. And then Arsenal just went up another level with the press. When they got the possession, they looked dangerous. They forced a free kick. And we know when you give a set piece to Arsenal, that spells danger. And it's so interesting. I was talking to my brother on Sunday about types of goals that we haven't seen in ages. And he said to me, I haven't seen in a long time a player cross a ball into the box, kind of aiming towards that far post, where if nobody gets a touch, it goes in. I said, yeah, I can't remember the last time like a top Premier League team scored one like that. And lo and behold, that is what happened. Bukayo Saka, it was interesting because if that was a normal cross, the first man would have cleared it easy. But they noticed something, Arsenal. PSG almost didn't have there's always a first man because you're always going to find a... But their first man was kind of behind the nearest Arsenal player when it comes to attacking that defensive line. And Saka put a ball in to that area. Now, 2 Arsenal players missed it. But it was such a clever ball because if it's missed by everybody, it can just go in. And it caused confusion in PSG's box. Another clever, and I think the reason I didn't have a first man is because PSG probably tried something new to try and defend those wonderful set pieces, and it led to the goal. Saka scoring, I think it's his 5th Champions League goal at home in 6 home Champions League games as well. And the game was over from then. A really good start to the second half. Could have been 3-0. Martinelli with a shot at the end of a really good move from Arsenal. And then what they did, it was just so mature from Arsenal as they sat in, they absorbed, they didn't waste any energy, they didn't risk anybody pulling hamstrings or getting injured. They just played within themselves. They contained PSG, who did come out and did attack and did try to beat them, but they didn't have enough. And even when they did, on occasion, break a line and get in behind, the positioning of Gabriel and Saliba was just brilliant again. And if Saliba got beat, Gabriel was there. If Gabriel gets beat, Saliba is there. And as a two, I do think we're looking at the current best centre-back pairing in European football. Them along with Declan Rice and Partey, Moreno making his debut as well. Arsenal right now, with their form, just look unstoppable. They really do. And the interesting element here is they got all those injuries. Obviously, Martinelli is still out. They had all those injuries 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I remember, and this is a question really, to all the Arsenal fans and to all the naysayers that said, season's over. Season's over. We're going to be at the title race by October. Champions League is going to be a disaster. The squad isn't good enough. You have got through those games without losing. You've kept a number of clean sheets. You're scoring goals. You're unbeaten, unless I've forgotten about a defeat. I don't think I have in that time. And I still don't think you are at your optimum best. You've still got Odegaard to come back into this side whenever that is going to be. And I actually thought Merino was going to be out longer with some of the initial reports, but he is now back. So it's an extra body in the midfield. The likes of Skelly and Nwaneri, when they come on, they look every bit ready to be part of this Arsenal team. And look, I've been saying it for a couple of years. This Arsenal team is scary. This Arsenal team is potent. This Arsenal team is dangerous. They have to get over the line and start winning some major trophies. I think every gooner in the world knows this. But I don't think when you look at Arsenal's run at the beginning of the season, you look at who they drew in the Champions League and the order of the games, I don't think, hand on heart, there are very many Arsenal fans on planet Earth that, if they're being honest, cannot say, I am proud of my team for what they have achieved. If there's any gooner that is not proud of the start to their season, it needs deep explaining. You need to give reasons that are so rational, so easy to digest. A 3-year-old gets it. It's been a very hard start, major injuries, and a tough Champions League start as well. And ironically, the people that said the season was over, you had a few pro Arteta fans who sort of showed their asses a little bit. A lot of these individuals didn't think your squad was even that good anyway, or your manager isn't that good anyway. And you've come through it with flying colours. A brilliant base and foundation built for the remainder of the season. It's likely Arsenal win this weekend as well. They'll go into the international break cool, calm, collected and relaxed. But overall, another top performance indeed. Red Vision here says, it's Terry.